Hello, all, and welcome to All Red. Liverpool are flying high, but I don't think they're playing very well. And we're going to talk about why that is and why that's actually a good thing. This is the channel that is all Liverpool all the time. It's All Red, and we have our London Red back with us. It's been too long, Aaron. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Really, really good. Looking forward to today, mate. And I've got some good stuff to say today. Some great
That's
stuff to
good.
say.
That's good. And we're going to extract that from you, Aaron. We're going to talk about why Liverpool have not been playing great. Obviously, before you jump into the comments and say, but we're winning games. Yes, we are winning games. We are, what is it now? 8 out of 9? 7 out of 8?
8 out of 9.
8 out of 9. Oh, yes. And that, by the way, is a record for a Liverpool manager. No other manager has ever had a better starting record through 9 games than Arne Slot. 8 wins out of 9, no draws. So Liverpool are flying high. They are passing almost every test except for Forest. And if you had told us 3 months ago when Arne Slot was appointed that we would be sitting atop the Premier League, we would be 2-0 in Champions League play, you would probably have slapped us across the face and laughed at us in the comments. But here we are. And at the same time, Aaron, two things can be true. Liverpool are winning games, but they are not playing great. We have yet to see a Liverpool performance. Maybe there was one or two where it was like, all right, they're finally, the slot machine is now well oiled. They're figuring it out. But then it seems like every time that happens, there's kind of this regression. Now, I think there's 4 to 5 reasons, Aaron, why Liverpool have been
hmm
less than stellar, and I think we should talk about them. So first and foremost, this might get a few commenters in a bit of a tizzy, but Mohamed Salah, Aaron, if you're watching the games and you're not just looking at the score sheets, you will notice for, I don't know, 60%, 65% of the game, Mohamed Salah is actually kind of poor. What have you seen from him this season so far, Aaron?
I think one thing you get from Salah, and listen, I love Salah, and anytime you pull Salah out of the team, I don't think we are quite the team that we should be when he plays. But Salah, I mean, his touch at times is sublime.
Mm-hmm.
His passing at times is sublime. But that ratio is, he may play one world class pass out of 10, and there'll be 9 passes that don't reach their destination. And that's the frustrating side of Salah at the
Yeah,
moment,
yeah,
where we've had a number of attacks broken down by Salah just being slightly careless on the ball, under hitting a pass, over
yeah.
hitting a pass, or being greedy and having a really feeble shot at the end of it. I love Salah, and one thing that you guaranteed with Salah is goals and assists. So in that respect, he absolutely earns his bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely earns his bread. But I think about the amount of tax and the amount of goals we could score with
Right.
that little bit of finesse. And I think, sometimes he's just a bit careless, and he tries this when he runs at the left back. Every time he runs at the left back, 9.5 times out of 10, he runs straight into him, and the left back
Mm-hmm.
takes the ball off him. His goal last night was exceptional,
Yeah. And his
and
assist.
there's no one better at it. Sam, that little when he gets that little half a yard of room and
Yeah.
wraps his foot around that ball into that top corner, he's exceptional.
Yeah.
And I mean, listen, you look at Salah, he had a poor game last night, and he's got a goal and an assist.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
he does. That's what he
Right.
does, Sam.
Yeah, and you can't drop him. And Arne Slot
Agree?
has taken every opportunity to get Salah in the game because I think he knows that. I think Arne Slot understands that his team is going to play controlled football. They're
Mm.
going to concede probably fewer goals than they ever did under Klopp. And so when you can have a player of Salah's goal scoring ability and goal involvement ability, you have to play him. It's kind of like this wild card where you just toss it out and it's
Mm.
like, go get a goal and assist. Like, play poor for 50 minutes, but there's these little moments of magic. And honestly, like, is that the modern day attacker? I mean, you could say that about what's his name, Erling Haaland for City. I mean, he's got some howlers, right? I mean, just like, what were you thinking, bro? But he puts goals in the back of the net, obviously, in that City side. Um, but Mohamed Salah just continues to produce, and that's why it's like, hey, you can't just look at the score sheet, Aaron.
Mm.
You have to watch the games. What does the eye test tell you? This was the same with Dominic Szoboszlai, who's number 2 on our list. I said earlier this week, Dominic Szoboszlai has been pretty poor. I mean, you can look at the stats. The stats actually tell the same story. And I got a lot of people saying, "Oh, he's like our best midfielder. He's like one of our top 5 players." Like, well, I agree with you from like a talent and like technical ability standpoint. We've seen him do those things, but he's not doing them right now. And his goal involvements are almost non-existent. He is a box-to-box number 10 or number 8 midfielder in this Liverpool team, and yet he's finding ways to not score or not assist at all. And not only that, Aaron, because a lot of people are like, well, but that's not his role. Arne Slot needs him to be running around like, yeah, okay, that's fine. But Dominic Szoboszlai, if you're watching the games, you're seeing when he gets into the final third, everything falls apart. Poor passes, poor decisions, poor touches. It's like this flip just switches on him, and he can't think straight when he gets into attack mode. I will say, Aaron, yesterday he looked better. He looked good.
I thought he had a really good game yesterday.
He looked good. He looked good, and we need to see that continue with him. And with a player like him, I get the sense that it's one of those mental things where if he were to score a goal or two, would the floodgates open? Would that give him the confidence to take shots from outside the box, or maybe try a pass that he's currently not confident enough to make? That we know he can do. So
I have a little bit of a thought process behind sort of Szoboszlai at the moment, and the difference last night, was night and day compared to his last few performances.
Yeah.
And one thing that I noticed last night in the game is he got stuck in to challenges. He was physical last night. The amount of times I've been critical of Szoboszlai pulling out of a challenge, dipping his toe in and not being physical, when he's quite a physical presence. He's 6'1".
He is.
He's an athletic monster. And my expectation for Szoboszlai when I see him play is because we've been blessed with the likes of Stevie G for 20 years, being physical in that number 8 role, getting stuck in and not allowing the ball. Listen, if there was a 50-50 challenge, Gerrard's coming out with that ball.
Yeah.
That's my expectation for Szoboszlai. If you're going to compare Szoboszlai to a Steven Gerrard, you've got to be able to live up to the attributes of what Steven Gerrard had, which was everything. The goals, I think, will come. He's been quite unfortunate and slightly naive in a couple of opportunities. The one where he tried to walk it into the net, I think it might have been against Manchester United in that 3-0 win. He literally tried, why he didn't just put his laces through it and smash it into the back of the net from a few yards out is beyond me. And obviously the opportunity at the weekend as well, where he had that shot from about a yard out that the keeper saved. Listen, that was a bit of a freak save. Any direction that ball goes in the back of the net. But these are the shots that he needs to start converting to be looked at as a real contributor to the team. It's not enough just being athletic and being able to run backwards and forwards. And I was happy, and I texted my friends last night. I was happy. I said, he's getting stuck in tonight, and I could see him putting himself about, and he looks a much better player.
Yeah.
Just by being physical and stop and breaking up play, and he's an absolute pressing monster. Yeah, he's so good at the press.
Yeah.
But without challenging sometimes. I remember used to watch Henderson play, and Henderson used to have a tendency to just run alongside the player and not put a challenge in. Well, I've seen Szoboszlai doing similar things, but last night I seen different. He was getting stuck into that challenge, and he looked a much better player for it. So hopefully, long may that continue, and his performance levels just start to increase with the more physicality he's putting into the games and into his performances.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the sense across the board, Liverpool should be scoring more goals. And I think that's the story that I've seen, and there's certainly issues on the defensive side and in the midfield, but we should be scoring more goals. And this was the story last year too, where it was like, man, there are points in this game, in the games where, you start to see it. Okay, like, all right, it clicks, the machine is flowing, and the passing is incredible, and for 20 minutes we're doing this without a goal, and we're not converting these chances. I think Salah, Szoboszlai are part of that issue. This, going back to the defense, Trent, I think, has actually defended pretty well this season. But Aaron, you and I have chatted a little bit about, like, there's something going on with Trent Alexander Arnold.
Yeah.
What are you seeing from him? To me, it almost seems like a disinterest in playing.
That's exactly what I see. Trent's a phenomenal footballer. He has all of the skill and just football IQ, like no one else in the team. I think he's an exceptional player. But one thing that I'm seeing with him is, on a number of occasions, is once his guy gets around him, it almost seems like a disinterest to track back.
Give up. Yeah.
Once he's beaten, he's beaten. Now, my expectation is, if that's Bradley's a terrier.
Yeah.
Bradley's going to try and get back at you at all costs to try and win that ball back. Once his man has got round Trent, that's it. It's done. He's past him. And I've seen a real laziness in Trent. I think the game comes a little bit too easy to him at times. It's just easy. The way he knocks a ball around feels a little bit like he's playing with his mates, and he's got that ability to just drop a ball on a sixpence and whip it round the corner and do all these really cool things. But he looks lazy.
Yeah.
To me, like, he's so easy to beat on a one-on-one. I actually disagree with you. I think there's been times where he's looked quite solid defensively and he's covered quite well.
Yeah.
But you look where we get beaten week in, week out in the attack, it's down Trent's side. And he is pinpointed every single time because they know that Trent's the easy target in the back line. Konaté's a beast. Van Dijk's a beast. Robertson's a beast. Trent is a little bit flimsy in a challenge. You'll dip his foot in. If he misses it, you're gone. And that's it, And I think he's a real weak point for me at the moment. And at the moment, if he didn't, and this might anger quite a lot of Liverpool fans, if he wasn't given another contract, I don't think I'd be too upset by it.
Wow, hot take right there. I would be upset if he left, especially for free. But I think we have a lot of quality behind him. And I think, Aaron, I agree with you. I think Trent defensively is the weak point of our back line, but that's a really good back line. And so,
it's a great back line. It's a great back
most
line.
right backs on that back line would be the weak point of that back line. I think when you look at attacking,
Bradley's solid though. Sam.
Bradley's
Bradley is a great player,
But I think that's also maybe a testament to, if you're attacking, do you want to go down the Virgil van Dijk side? I mean, I know Konaté's been he's probably been our best defender, Konaté.
Agreed.
And most important defender. But if I'm defending, or if I'm attacking the Liverpool defense, I think I'm naturally just going left, right? Because I just don't want to see anything of Virgil van Dijk. And when you look at Trent and the ability for quick, fast, pacey left winger to attack Trent Alexander Arnold, I think there's just more opportunities to beat that. But we just need to see more effort. I think it's the same thing with Szoboszlai. Last night we saw a player who was willing to work hard, willing to just give everything he had, leave it on the field. And sometimes that's just what it takes. Like, hey, if you're in a funk, if you're not playing super well, hey, you start hearing people talk, just go out and work hard. Like, honestly, I didn't play it at any high level at all. But dude, that's all I had was like, I'm not the most technically gifted footballer. but I'm just going to go out and work hard, dude. I'm going to throw my head into challenges. I'm going to put my body on the line. And dude, sometimes that's all you need to do. Just go out and work hard.
Some people have had very, very successful, careers in football by just being hard workers.
Yeah. Dirk Kuyt,
Very,
right?
very, yeah, Dirk Kuyt. I mean, he didn't have any real pace or anything like that, Dirk Kuyt. He wasn't a number 9 when he come to Liverpool. But I
Right.
tell you what he did. That guy worked beyond belief. And he's
Absolutely.
a he's a Liverpool legend at the end of the day, Dirk Kuyt.
Yeah.
He'll always be remembered at Liverpool.
Yep.
And he didn't light it up. He didn't
Yeah.
score loads of goals, but he was just a workhorse, and we loved him
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. Yep. Here's another name on the list, Aaron. Darwin, I think, continues to struggle. I'll say struggle. He had a wonder goal about a week ago, and it was a beautiful goal, really beautiful goal. But I said at the time, that to me, for Darwin Nunez to score that goal, it was a bit of luck, right?
Mm.
I mean, just with
Mhm.
his track record, it was like great hit, amazing goal, beautiful
Mm.
goal.
Mhm.
We're not going to see that every week from him. We're just not. He scores bangers, right? That's what Darwin does. But when you start him against a Bologna side that we saw yesterday, you want to see more from Darwin Nunez. And
Mhm.
yesterday, I thought he took a step backward. Just didn't look confident. I don't think he was in the right places. There was, you can make an argument that the one that he actually scored yesterday, which was offsides, of course. You could make the argument, well, they didn't play him in quick enough. But as an attacker, he's looking back at the ball. He's looking back. You have to time that run.
He's
And we've
always offside. That's the problem, Sam.
always.
Always.
This is not a one-time deal. Always offside. So I don't think there's a player in Liverpool's first team that I want to see succeed more than Darwin Nunez. I love Darwin.
Mm.
But these issues continue, and I get the sense that Arne Slot might run out of patience at some point. Now, Arne Slot is known for taking attacking players and fixing these issues, fixing these mental issues. And so I think he's going to continue to try to do that with Darwin. But Arne Slot he's kind of cutthroat, Aaron. Like, he doesn't
Mhm.
mess around. He's
Mhm.
not going to just play you because he likes you.
Well,
So,
I've seen that. I've seen that side to Arne Slot. And Arne Slot. I mean, listen. There's a couple of people on the pitch, Sam, that I feel when he subbed them off, he got a bit of a negative reaction. Salah, Trent,
Mhm.
and I don't think you'll see Salah and Trent get subbed off too many more times. But Nunez will get a lot of game time just because of the fact that Jota is a little bit injury prone.
Sure.
Gakpo will get a lot. Listen, I would throw another one on this list, Sam. I watched for the first 5 games of the season. Diaz just on fire.
Yeah.
His last 2 games, it's almost like he's scared to release the shot.
Hmm.
He's trying to run it into the net.
Yeah.
And, his first 5 goals in the Premier League, all of them were he got that little bit of space on the edge of the box and whipped
Yep.
it towards the corner.
Yep.
And for me, that's how he has a productive season, is by releasing that shot. And actually, I'm a little bit critical. I thought Gakpo should be starting, because Gakpo is one thing that Gakpo is going to do. He's going to pick the ball up, he's going to cut onto his right foot, and he's going to whip it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's doing it great at the moment, Gakpo.
Yeah.
Diaz has just took a step back in the last 2 games because he's been on fire. Yeah, and I want to see Diaz continue in that vein of form, and I think he's not taking the shot, Sam.
Yep.
In the last 2 games, he's shied away from it.
Yep. I agree.
And you've seen him trying to walk it in the net a couple of times.
Yeah,
he's literally trying to walk it past the keeper.
Yeah, I think him and Szoboszlai might have the same kind of mental little issue there, where it's like, dude, just shoot it, get shots away.
Yeah.
And I think there's a decision-making thing there. When you're in the heat of the game, you got the ball, you're running towards the defender. What are you thinking about? Like, you could see in those first 5 games with Diaz, his only thought was, ball to my right foot, and as
Score.
soon as I get
Yeah.
an inch of space, I'm
Yeah.
releasing that shot. And it
Absolutely,
was
mate.
beautiful, right?
It
It
was
was
beautiful.
beautiful. He
Beautiful.
was doing that in the preseason too, by the way.
Yeah.
And maybe there was this holdover from Copa America with him where he was, he had to do that more. He had to be the guy for his national team. And you just get the sense that it's like, at times there's like, dude, just shoot the ball, man. Like, what are we
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
Like,
I
we're
agree, mate.
making all of these passes in the final third that eventually, you make one mistake and it's over. So here's the last thing, Aaron. We can't forget about this. We are 9 games into the Arne Slot era,
Mm-hmm.
and this is still a brand new system. It is brand new tactics and just a new way of playing, and we can't forget that. But this is the silver lining here, because we are 9 games into the Arne Slot era, and we've won 8 of those games, Aaron, while playing poorly. I mean, not poorly at all times, but
Yeah.
you can look at it and say, dude, this team can be so much better. And I think that's where I'm like, okay, that actually gets me excited, because we are top of the Premier League. We've won our 2 Champions League games pretty comfortably. And, we've kind of passed every test except for Forest. I know there are no easy games in the Premier League. So, winning, 5 out of 6 in the Premier League is a fantastic record. And Aaron, you and I have discussed before, to win the Premier League, you don't necessarily have to beat the other teams in the top 4. You have to beat the other 16 teams, right?
Yeah, that's
consistently.
correct,
You can't be losing to teams like Palace and honestly teams like Forest. But those are the games. These are the match. This Palace game at the weekend. These are the types of matches that are potentially more important than the Cities and the Arsenals, right? Like, you have to be winning these games. So that's the silver lining. And so I hope throughout this video, we're not just ragging on players just to be negative. These players that we've named, they do need to be better. And the encouraging thing is, if Salah, Szoboszlai, Trent, Darwin, Diaz, these players can be consistently better and figure out these little things. Most of these players are attacking players, because we've had the best defensive record in England. We've conceded 4 goals out of 9 games, 5 goals, 4 goals, something like that. Like, that's an incredible record.
4 goals, I think. I know it might only be West Ham conceded a goal.
Yep.
Nottingham Forest conceded a goal. Wolves conceded a goal. I don't remember another goal outside
AC
of
Milan. AC Milan.
Oh, AC Milan 3-1, wasn't it? So yeah, that's 4 in
4
total.
goals. 4 goals in 9 games. Incredible record. And so, our defense hasn't been perfect. I thought Bologna should have scored 1 or 2 yesterday. They were lucky not to, or we were lucky for them not to. But you just get the sense that new manager, new tactics. Of course, it's going to take time, but we're winning games while we're learning on the go, right? We're winning these games, which is more than you can say for a lot of other clubs in our situation. More than you could say for clubs like Manchester United, who are in year 3 of their new manager. And so, anyways, the gist of this video is Liverpool can get better still. And that's encouraging, because we're winning games, we're grinding out results, and we haven't peaked yet. And we shouldn't hope to peak until hopefully around February, March. I mean, that's really when you want to start seeing the team get into a groove and finish out the year, finish out the last 3 months, 4 months of the season on top. So we'll leave it at that. Aaron, fantastic stuff. We hope that these 4 or 5 players we discussed get better. We think that they will. We know they have the quality to get better. And we know that Arne Slot is the right guy to get them.
Yeah, of course.